You could be the biggest science fiction fan ever, but let me tell you one thing. The Untamed is not like any movie you have ever seen. Until now. This sultry psychosexual fever from Mexico has it all. Laser beams and tentacles. Director Amat Escalante wanted to turn you on, freak you out, and leave you disturbed, and let me tell you, he succeeded in it. This is a creature feature with erotic trauma and general human messiness. This movie prefers to seduce audiences instead of making them scream. But remember this movie is about shame, repression, desire, and an alien god who just knows how to hit all of those sweet spots. Consent has never been more complicated. Welcome to The Untamed. Spoiler warning up ahead. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. What is this movie? When you start watching The Untamed, you might think that this is just a gritty domestic drama. You see the rural region of Mexico and the dark storm looming over the sky, you kinda just have to assume it's something a bit on the darker side. And it truly is. The social climate in this region is just as repressed as the people living in this town. However, the film manages to peel away the realism soon enough and give us something infinitely more strange, slithering right under our noses. Our story begins with Veronica. She is a young woman leaving the remote forest cabin. She has a gaping wound on her stomach that is bleeding through her white shirt, and from her disheveled look, it seems like she just had a sexual encounter which went sideways, heavily. She looks positively wrecked, but in the best and worst way possible. She seems like an addict, completely hooked on whatever she experienced. Then we cut to another young woman, Alejandra. She's a housewife in a suffocating, sexless marriage. Her husband, Angel, is a brutish man. He is hyper-masculine and has a knack for demeaning Alejandra at every single step of the way. However, he has his dirty little secret too. This homophobic man is actually as gay as they come because he is busy sleeping with Fabian, Alejandra's brother. I know, the tea is messy and piping hot. The layers of hypocrisy are thicker than a bowl of oatmeal in this love triangle. Alejandra is completely neglected emotionally. She has no connection to Angel, and she is starving for something that does not revolve around dinner and screaming. Fabian, on the other hand, is a kind and gentle soul. He is tender and supportive. He acts as an emotional refuge for Alejandra when he is not dealing with a workload of a nurse. Now, I would give him props for being sweet if he weren't sleeping with his sister's husband, but oh, yikes. Now, while working on another shift at the hospital, Fabian comes across Veronica. She looks haunted and strange. She claims that her wound is from a dog bite, and Fabian is intrigued by her behavior. They start talking and they become friendly. Fabian opens up to Veronica about being in a relationship with an abusive man because, oh, shocker, Angel is abusive to him too. Fabian had stopped putting out because he got some of his conscience back, and that led to him receiving a barrage of threats from Angel. Men, take notes. This is how you don't get into someone's pants. Hearing Fabian's relationship status and emotional vulnerability, Veronica brings him to her secret place, telling him to be open-minded. Whatever experience he would have, there would be the cure-all to his loneliness. And hearing Veronica's words, Fabian goes with her. She introduces him to the cabin and the creature inside it. This is where we learn that the creature is not from this world at all. Years ago, this meteorite crashed near the place, and the creature now lives in the barn. The older couple who owned the barn tends to this alien with an almost religious reverence. This is a Lovecraftian entity that does not speak or express emotions. And the thing is, it doesn't need to. It communicates all that it needs to tell via touch, pleasure, and sensation. And this pleasure is intense, euphoric, and might even be fatal. Veronica believes that this creature is a gift. This is divine ecstasy. But given how she got injured when she tried to get more out of the alien, it's worrisome. The old couple warned her that the alien had grown too strong, but Veronica could not care less. She was addicted to the pleasure that only the alien could give her. The appetite of the alien was increasing, and the line between pleasure and hunger was blurring. So Fabian ended up becoming the unwilling offering to the alien. She brought him there under the pretense of curing his loneliness, but in reality, after this visit, he was found naked and assaulted. He had a deep wound on the back of his skull and was now in a coma. By this time, Alejandra had found out the threatening text that Angel had been sending to Fabian. So she assumed that it was he who hurt Fabian this badly after Fabian refused to have sex with him. When one of Fabian's co-workers showed up at the police station, testifying that he saw Angel rudely shoving Fabian, the case was solved. He is a homophobe in public, but in private, he coerced Fabian into sex. And since the latter refused, Angel assaulted him. This was the case the police pieced together, and with that, he was hauled to jail. But you and I, we know better. This was not because of some hate crime or some sexual assault. It was the alien, and its ecstasy went sideways. Alejandra is understandably distraught with everything that is happening. Her brother is in a coma. Her husband is probably the one who put him in said coma, and now her life is in ruins. That is when she meets Veronica, who decided to come clean to her. At first, Alejandra was skeptical. I mean, can you blame her? Some random woman comes up to you and tells you a whole story about a sex alien in a barn. Would you believe it? Despite her disbelief, Alejandra went with Veronica to the cabin. She is drugged by Veronica and left for the alien to devour. But Alejandra comes out of the other end, alive and devoured all right. Alejandra finds something in her life now, something that takes away all the neglect and brings her pleasure. She is now the addicted one. Veronica, on the other hand, was tired of leaving the alien behind. She even tried to go on a date. However, the man could not satisfy her the way the alien did, leaving her feeling empty. Angel's family managed to get him out of jail using all the connections they had. They wanted him to start over his life somewhere new, but he would not listen to any of that. He went back to Alejandra in the hopes she would take him back. But when Alejandra is reluctant, he becomes abusive. He tries to kill her but ends up hurting himself in the process. Instead of bringing him to the hospital or anything, Alejandra does something extremely cold. By this time, Alejandra has been visiting the alien for a while. She even took her kids with her if she did not find someone to babysit them. So, while they played outside, she enjoyed her time with the alien. And all this time together had changed her. She was no longer meek, submissive, or weak. When her mother-in-law tried to take her kids away, Alejandra literally threw a rock through the window as an intimidation tactic, which worked in her favor. So while the old Alejandra may have taken Angel to the hospital, the new Alejandra instead dragged him to the cabin. She opened the barn door and found the lifeless corpse of Veronica on the ground. With barely any expression, she pushed Angel inside and let the alien feast on him. This is a deliberate sacrifice. Another offering. The movie ends as we see the old man and Alejandra dump Veronica and Angel's bodies into a hole, commenting on how the dead bodies seem to be racking up. What is this alien and what does it want? Now let's get a little intimate, shall we? The alien we see in The Untamed is really not your everyday alien. This one does not want to blow us up. It does not want to colonize us. This here is to blow your mind and, well, other parts too. It is erotic, dangerous, and unknowable. This is a bad decision wrapped perfectly in slippery tentacles. The alien came to Earth in a meteorite because, of course it did, and ever since its arrival, it has been hooking up with humans. Not romantically, just primally, physically, wordlessly. The couple who houses the alien, they were supposed to be scientists, but from the way they behave, they are practically worshippers. They treat the alien like he is a deity, and the barn is its boudoir. Their voices drip with reverence whenever they speak of the alien as if they have seen God. And well, turns out God has very flexible limbs. And what does the alien want? The answer is simple. It wants you, your body, your mind, your surrender, your cravings. This alien wants it all, and in return, it offers you a pleasure that is so intense that you might mistake it for transcendence. People who meet this God either enter the barn a skeptic only to leave a believer, or don't leave at all. While the mind-blowing, earth-shattering pleasure sounds amazing, there is a problem. There are no boundaries. There are no safe words. The alien's power escalates over time, and it goes from a sensual miracle to something that has no idea of restraint. It does not stop. It does not care. It gives too much, and in return, It takes too much. What was supposed to be a divine ecstasy ends up becoming something monstrous. Just like we like our partners, this alien is a tease. We never truly get to see it in its full glory. It's a mess of tentacles, and the one time we see its face, it's simply blank. It's like a striptease that never finishes, and that is what makes this villain so much more horrifying. The brain fills out all the blanks that we have left, and let's be real, our brains are kinky. Now, if we're talking about symbolism, I would say that the alien represents desire in its purest form. It is insatiable, amoral, and completely raw. It does not judge and simply reflects your fantasies back to you without any shame. And that is dangerous, because once you taste pleasure without guilt, you'll never want to go back to something else. Escalante created the alien as more of a liberation engine and less of a monster. This alien is a sexual reckoning, and with the Lovecraftian structure, it is supposed to horrify you as much as it turns you on. This alien is a slimy reminder that denying your urges will always come back to bite you in the ass, because that only makes them stronger. And once the urges are unleashed, they do not go back into the box. They crawl, they whisper, and they never ever stop. Alien pleasure versus male failure. The main theme of this movie is desire. More specifically, female desire. The Untamed is all about it, and it is not sanitized at all. We do not see candlelit female desire here. We see its ferocity and unapologetic nature, and the feral lust that these women have, they're not satisfied by the men in their lives. Not at all. Let's be real. Angel sucks. He sucks in the worst ways possible. He is abusive. He is insecure. He's bad in bed. He bullies Alejandra and then cheats on her with her brother. And when said brother refuses, he throws a tantrum. He sounds exhausting, and he is exhausting. And with Angel in her life, Alejandra is doing her best to survive. She cooks, she cleans, she raises their kids. For what reason? She doesn't get anything in return, not even some affection. She gets no kind of touch or attention, and she is starving for it. She is starving to be seen, to be touched, to be loved, to be given attention to. And when she finds it with an alien in a barn, not a man. And in a way, this partnership works out for the best. The alien does not ask her for dinner. The alien does not gaslight her into believing everything is her fault. The alien simply gives and gives. It takes time to learn your body, listen to your body, and does not stop giving until you are trembling and shaking. And honestly, who would not want that? Veronica knew this. She was completely addicted to the alien and his pleasure. She was blindsided by it, but also awakened. Because after the cosmic bliss, some soft kisses simply do not cut the bill. While Veronica loses herself there, Alejandra finds herself. She embraces the pleasure that the alien brings with it and lets the alien discover her. And as she actively seeks out her sex life, her own pleasure, she becomes confident in herself. She unearths her desires, her rage, and her hunger with the alien and acts upon it. Once she tastes liberation, she does not look back. And why would she? The men in this movie are always trying to control the women either by shame, violence, or silence. The alien, on the other hand, does not do any of that. It empowers them. It elevates them. It worships them and asks for no pleasure in return, making these women feel like themselves again. This alien does not just get these women off, it sets them free. It's a muse, and that's why women keep returning to it. And boys, try to take some notes. This alien has got better game than you. Marvelous verdict. If you're feeling a little hot under the collar, don't be ashamed. The Untamed is an experience. It's like an aching undressing of your senses and sensibilities. It thrills you, confuses you, and, to a degree, arouses you. And if it leaves you a little shocked, that's great, because that's just part of the foreplay. The movie is not just a horror movie, it's like an open love, a lust letter to every repressed fantasy you kept to yourself. The alien in the barn is like your id, the cravings that come out when the lights go out and the world as we know it disappears. Amat Escalante did not play it safe, and that's what makes the movie so good. He gives you pleasure and punishment, love and loathing, and of course, orgasms and omens. And through all of those, The women rise and the alien gives them release while the world around them asks them to settle. You could watch the movie out of curiosity, or because of the tentacles, but trust me, you'll end up staying a lot longer for the lingering intimacy, the celebration of feminine hunger, and of course, the honesty. The Untamed won't be gentle. It will tie you up and ask you if this is what you really want, and, well, if your answer is open, the barn is open for you. We won't tell. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, be safe, and thanks everyone.